Hi everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Here we have the new Darnath Lysander model from Games Workshop that just released this summer. And I have to say, he is one of my favorite Imperial Fist models that I've painted. But if Lysander is one of my favorites, does that imply that I have some models that I've painted that I dislike? Absolutely. There are definitely some stinkers in my Imperial Fists. In this video, we're going to take 3 models from my Imperial Fist army and show them a little bit of TLC, in the hopes to bring them up to the standard of the models that you're seeing right now. In this video, we're going to cover painting yellow armor, painting a vibrant red cape, and painting green Powerswords, and also discussing some things about the hobby at large. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy the video. So one of the first things that I wanted to tackle is this god-awful cape. And before we even talk about the painting itself, I do want to talk about paint quality. It's clear from that weird, almost like skin tone texture that I used either bad paint or I didn't shake my paints well enough or I didn't store them well enough, because technically this cape was supposed to be red to begin with. Make sure that your paints aren't separating. Make sure that you shake your dropper bottles very well before using your paints, because you're going to get a red like the one that's on the cape prior to what I'm doing right now. Make sure that your hobby space is clean, safe. Make sure all of your tools are ready to use. Make sure your tools are clean, your brushes are clean, and just make sure that your paint is ready to use instead of doing what I did and just kind of, not caring. Okay, so on to the painting itself. To cover up the old cape, I'm starting off with a base layer of corn red. The corn red is dark enough to be a base coat, but also dark enough to cover up the undercoat as well to hide all of the sins. After the corn red, we add a layer of Mephiston red. As we progress with highlighting the cape, we're going to be adding the lighter colors towards the bottom and the edges of the cape, and we're also going to be highlighting lighter and lighter over his shoulder. Since Torgaradon leads the 3rd company of the Imperial Fists, his shoulder pads are red, so we're going to be using the same colors for his shoulder pad trim and also the Aquila on his chest. Now, one of the mistakes I see a lot of people make with their red is using the wrong colors to highlight it. Using too much white will make it pink. I've used skin tones before to highlight red, but that just dulls out the color. My favorite way to highlight red is something that I have learned recently from other great painters in the community, and that is mixing a bright yellow with a little bit of a pastel pink into your red. As you can see here, Torgaradon's cape is still red, but it's not dull and it's not desaturated. It's vibrant and eye-catching. And here I keep adding more of that yellow and pink mix along the shoulder and along the edge of the capes. To finish off the cape, I am going to add a little bit of orange along the very tips of all of the folds of the cape and along the top of the shoulder, just to give it that little extra pop. And here we have the finished cape. A night and day difference compared to that first ugly cape. All right, so for this next part of the video, we're going to be painting the dreaded color yellow. And what better way to do it than with my favorite yellow in all of miniature painting, demonic yellow from the Army Painter. Now, touching up this armor is already going to be super easy, only because I have a base layer of yellow under it. One of the major things that I've learned about painting yellow after painting the Imperial Fist for the last couple of years is that the color that you're painting over is paramount. The base color for your model is going to make or break the paint job. Since these models already have their original layer of yellow under it, it's going to be easier to layer up. Speaking of layering up, I'm painting the demonic yellow mostly on the top of the kneecaps, top of the arms, and the top of the backpack. Space Marines are very round and cylindrical models. They're a great study on where to put highlights on certain shapes. I got some red on the power pack from painting the cape earlier on in the session, so we're just going to paint over that really quick. My personal painting style is the complete opposite of grimdark. So using Moondust as an additional layer on all of my Space Marines in this video is going to give them the vibrancy that I'm looking for. And while we have the time, I would love to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I plan on doing more painting tutorials, and I would love to start showing you guys army showcases of all of my projects in the future. The last thing I wanted to tackle on these models are the two power swords on both of the captains. If you notice in the beginning of the video, all of the models that I've shown you have a green accent color. Not only do I want to spruce the swords up in the first place, but I want to make these models match the rest of the army. They were painted at an earlier date before I knew exactly how I wanted the army to look. To cover the original paint job, I'm going to paint it with the same mindset as I did Tor Garadon's cape earlier. A mixture of Incubi Darkness and Caliban Green was painted over the original paint job to give it a dark base for me to highlight up off of. Next, we're going to plan out where the highlight colors are going to be on all of the swords using a Warboss Green. In order to get the pop off of that classic power sword look, you need a noticeable contrast between the darkest parts of the blade and the lightest. I know it looks a little sloppy now, but I promise the end result is going to look so much better. Okay, so you're gonna see me do something with this captain in Gravis armor, and it kind of is the entire point of this entire video. While painting miniatures, you are allowed to start over. You don't like something? Who cares? Strip it down. That color isn't working for you? Who cares? Paint it over. Nothing in this hobby is set in stone. As artists and hobbyists, we are always learning new things, and we are always getting better than the day we were before. Now, all because it's completely okay to start over, should you? Now that is entirely up to the artist. I wanted to fix these models because there were 3 that stood out to me in my army of Imperial Fists. These were the only 2 power swords that weren't green. And Tor Garadon's cape was the only one that wasn't a bright red like everyone else's. I want my Imperial Fist army to look as cohesive as possible. Now, for you, you might be someone that's a little bit nostalgic. You may like the idea of all of your models in your army to look a little bit different. Each model might be a placeholder, showing where you were at different times in your painting hobby. You may have some models that aren't up to snuff compared to your more recent models, but you've had them for years, and they're representative of how you started the hobby, and you like looking back at them. Now, as you could see, as I was talking, in the background, I've been touching up these green power swords. The thing with getting power swords to look the way they do is to make sure that you're blending the brighter colors with the darker colors to make everything look as smooth as possible, while highlighting the tippiest tips of all the places that the light is hitting. While utilizing techniques like glazing and wet blending, you're going to go through phases of the model looking really good, then looking bad again, then fixing it to make it look good, but then having to progress, you need to make it look bad again, and so on and so forth. But I'm telling you, just trust the process. Now please excuse this part of the video. My head is gonna pop in and out for a couple of times and kind of block out what we're doing. And as you can see here, I'm adding the highest highlights to complement that dark blue. The contrast between the two colors is what makes the swords pop. And here we are, the 3 finished models. A huge thank you to all of you who have stopped by, and a huge thank you for all of you who have stayed till the end to wait for this reveal. If you want to see more painting tutorials, more rescues, and potential army showcases in the future, make sure to stop by again.